Thank you very much, Marek, and good afternoon, everyone. I think this is an incredibly important event, and it seems I'm not alone in thinking this, given how many of you are here today, and I'm pleased to see some of my colleagues, ministers, as well. As you know, this discussion will focus on the humanitarian aspects of the crisis in and around Ukraine. And honestly, this is a topic I could talk about for hours, having made 4 trips to Ukraine this year, and the last one only a few days ago. But since we don't have that much time, I'll limit myself to 3 main points. First, I want to look back over the past year. My first trip as chairperson last January was to Ukraine, and while I was there, I had the opportunity to travel to Stanica Luhanska. I had heard a lot about the suffering of civilians in that region, from the SMM reports, from our embassy in Kiev, and from the news. But going there was a different story entirely. The bridge, at the only entry-exit checkpoint in the Luhansk region, has been badly damaged. There was a rickety and steep wooden ramp built to substitute for the broken part of the bridge. And I saw how much suffering this caused. People, most of them elderly, with sticks and some even in wheelchairs, were forced to climb this ramp just to meet their basic necessary needs, like collecting pensions or receiving medical treatment. Honestly, I found it heartbreaking to watch. It looked like a scene that should not be happening in the 21st century, and certainly not in our own region. So when we returned from this trip, we came up with the assistance of the Trilateral Contact Group and the Special Monitoring Mission, with a list of confidence-building measures, or CBMs as we say in the OSCE. They dealt with very practical issues like improving the situation regarding checkpoints, the exchange of detainees, humanitarian demining, and of course, the repair of the bridge, which was actually #1 point on our list. Many of these measures have been discussed for years, and we simply try to elevate them to the political level. So as my second point, I'll talk about where we are now. In short, there has been progress on many of these CBMs. I have just returned from Stanica Luhanska, and the scene greeting me was very different this time. A secure passenger bridge was opened 2 weeks ago, and a new shuttle bus is making life much easier for the people who need to cross the contact line. These sound like a bit of a cliché, but I think this achievement, the repair of the bridge, reconnecting the community, which had seemed almost impossible last year, is very symbolic. Also, the exchange of detainees last September was another major step in building trust. And we are seeing progress in other humanitarian areas like demining. But I don't want to gloss over the difficulties. Some CBMs did not materialize. And as we speak, people in eastern Ukraine are still suffering. Again, in a way that should not be happening in this era, in this region. These humanitarian efforts have helped in building up confidence. But ultimately, we need to see commitment on higher political level. And obviously, a lot hinges on next week's Normandy summit. So we all must do our part to support and maintain momentum. For my third point, I want to say that none of this would have been possible without cooperation. We needed all hands on deck. And the people who are with us today played a critical role. To start, I'm very glad we have Florence Gillette here with us. She's the head of the ICRC's delegation in Ukraine. And the ICRC plays a hugely important role in the country. And it is a crucial lifeline to people on the ground. And let me go beyond today's topic and to acknowledge the ICRC for their work in other conflict situations around the world. I would also like to thank my special representative, Martin Seidel. He provided invaluable political and coordinating support to our efforts in Ukraine, including through his role with the Trilateral Contact Group. And I welcome Antti Grave, the Deputy Chief Monitor of the OSCE Special Monitoring Mission to Ukraine. From facilitating and monitoring disengagement to negotiating windows of silence, the Special Monitoring Mission was the operational backbone of our efforts on the ground. And finally, I welcome Braňo Tichý from an organization called Človek v ohrození, Slovakia. This Slovak civil society organization and others help to mitigate the impact of conflict on people, and they will be key partners in building peace in Ukraine. So thank you all for being here today. We can learn a lot from our experiences and perspectives. I know this Ministerial Council is a political event, but at least for the next hour, we will put our full attention on the people who need it the most. I thank you.